Yes.
And this MK part of...
And that's the only logo, by the way, in the trademark that you see everywhere.
Yes.
So now we are the only entity that has a right to use that particular trademark and nobody else.
This is big.
They're all over the world who have released monies, to, I don't want to say to MK, because MKP, the founder is Jabulani Khumalo, to that family stock fell, to turn either right or left or whichever direction. And I can tell you right now for free, because previously, before the elections, you'll find that there would be some sort of an ideology, that will be used to gain voters and whatever, that this is what MK is going to do and whatever. But all of that, it has dissipated. The only thing that you will hear from that other side of MK is Amasela, this and that, but no vision, none whatsoever. And I leave with your mic here. And then you go open a case against me that Nat stole my mic. And then before we go to court, I return the mic. Does that absolve me of wrongdoing?
No, at all.
So
Not at
that's where my problem is with the courts, because the oligarchs, they are controlling the so-called stooges. So it's a bigger elephant. So it's a way bigger elephant, which is outside of the borders.
Hence,
Israel is involved. Yes. Morocco is involved. United States is involved. It's a lot. Focusing on reinstating the actual leader of MK, and then the crux of the matter and all these other things, we'll deal with them later. Including pushing people to jail, by the way.
You insist on pushing people to jail. Who are... Okay, there's a list of people going to parliament. Who's the list of people going to jail?
Well,
Mashiane Politically Incorrect. Those guys are here. Those guys are here. I'm told they've been moved in the courts. I don't know. I've not read the judgment as usual, but it's really Nati. Nati will tell us where he comes from. He's not new in our podcast. He comes here often to come and give us this news. Nati Dume.
Yumela, Dati Mashiane.
Le Sharp.
No, we are in high spirits.
Hiban.
Yeah, never been better.
Hey, let me adjust your mic for you.
Thank you.
So your spirits could be higher than this.
No, for sure.
Okay. Tell us, I thought you'd be dampened. What happened?
Well, we can't. We are not dampened, and we are not even going to ever be dampened,
Okay.
But...
so let's do this, because I want us to give us why you are here, and then you'll give us a bit of history.
Okay.
So what happened yesterday and where were you? In short, then you'll come with the story back.
Okay. No, thank you. Not yesterday, but 2 days ago.
Okay.
On Tuesday, we got a correspondence from the Constitutional Court informing us that we had a case that we had submitted to the Constitutional Court, and then it, I don't want to say it reads as follows, because I don't want to quote verbatim. However, it is such that the access, we went into a direct access into the Constitutional Court, so they then referred us back to the lower court. That's what happened.
So you did not lose?
No, we did not lose. We have never lost.
Okay, I regard you as you are trailing 5-0. But for what it's worth, please take us from where the court contest has started.
Okay.
and then who you represent, so we could understand. Not representing legalese, where you stand from, so people could understand.
Okay, I'll do my best not to prolixify my response.
Yes, sure.
Try to put it, into context. But where it started last year in June, when Jabulani Khumalo, President Jabulani Khumalo, the founder of MK Party, submitted a case, in Johannesburg High Court. Well, the prayers there was such that he was unlawfully removed at the IEC. So unfortunately because I want to take it step by step about these 5 blows, but as far as I can remember, I think it's 3+1. But I'll give context.
Sure.
So the issue was such that, remember, the courts of law, they don't, in as much as you can put merits, but also the court of law depends on evidence. And right there, I think we're not advised properly. Remember, if I have any grievance, I seek advice from a legal expert, and then a legal expert will take me through steps to say that this is how we are going to, get recourse.
Yes.
So unfortunately, we did not present the court with evidence, which in this case would be a signature report from signature experts. So because of that very reason, yes, the merits are there and we have declared our story, but unfortunately the court requires evidence.
Thank you. Let's capture that. So that is the first bout, right?
Yes.
So when about was this?
Last year, June, I think the 20th.
Okay, let's just call it June 2024.
Yes.
First bout.
Yes.
You were kicked out because you could not provide signature evidence expert from your side to contest what you are saying.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. In fact, at that point, we did not even understand that we needed to produce those reports. In our response was to now appeal, and then that's when we approached the SCA, and then same blow. And then that's when we now understood that no. Remember, this is an allegation. So it is alleged that you are kicked out illegally and whatever. So prove it. Obviously our prayers was where they had your affidavit and whatever, and then obviously the correspondence between Jabulani and IEC and whatever, still it did not carry weight. You still needed to prove that really this was not your signature. And then in this particular, because now we are very high in confidence and whatever, we then approached 3 different institutions, and 2 are locally and 1 is international, to prove that really that was not Jabulani Khumalo's signature.
Wait, you pursuing 3 institutions, were you seeking anyone who could represent you in court, proving, as I expect, proving that those signatures were forged?
No, well, not necessarily. So these 3 institutions, they specialize in writing.
Okay.
They are experts in writing and signatures. So they have to present a report.
Yes.
And they must be an institute, a reputable institutions. So to make sure that there are no gaps,
yes,
we had to approach 3.
Yes.
And obviously, they do not really have to come to court.
Yes.
They can actually do that by submitting a report, and then that report will be part of our submissions to court.
Okay, true.
Yes.
So that part has been done.
It has been done.
I want you to hold it there. So you are still at first phase. So these are things that are happening between the first and the second.
Yes.
So tell us about the second.
Well, the second, it's SCA now. And that's when I said, that's when we then realized, we only realized at that point that we needed to get those signature experts.
What is SCA?
SCA is
No. As long as we understand where it stands, what were you supposed to do there?
Okay, no, it's where we needed to appeal. but it's what you call it? I forgot.
Because I want you not to use too much law jargon, because I'm being honest with you. Even I am confused. That's why I keep saying you guys have lost 5-0. Yeah, because this is what people see you. And I told Jabulani Khumalo that until you show me you punching them falling down, you are still trailing. The last time we spoke, it was 3-0, I think, or 4-0. Because that's when you were coming back from
Pretoria.
Yeah, Pretoria. It was about those you being removed. Yeah, from Cipro.
Well, that was a different case altogether.
Great,
I said it's
but
three.
all these punches I'm counting in
Coming from
yes. So the second one, are we gonna call it SCA?
SCA. I'll tell you what, yes.
Yes, you'll get it later.
I'll tell you what it is.
So in this one, they are re-emphasizing on the first bout to say you have to produce from yourself. You have to produce. Okay.
Yes. You see the merits.
Yes.
You see the heads of argument.
Prove it to us.
Prove it to us. So that on
when about was this?
This was late last year.
Okay, late 2024.
Yes.
I'm gonna write late 2024. And then the third bout.
The third bout, it's in Pretoria now. In fact, there's a third which you didn't really approach the court. It's something that was done behind the scene. And I would not want to say it now because I will be preparing somehow the other. And so we had to regroup from January this year, early this year. And then there was something that we had to do behind the scene that has to do with do I say it?
No. So in other words,
Not say it now.
Okay,
but it's something that is about to shock and surprise a lot of people. I'm sure. In fact, okay, let me not be
preemptive.
Yeah.
But being here, you must shock us because you are losing, Chan. You can't be losing 5-0 to say I'm not gonna put my striker now.
No, I remember because of these 5 notes and whatever note we have learned, to be strategic. We are not shaken.
No, it's fine.
We have all the time.
So are you going to say the third bout happened in closed doors?
Yes.
But you lost.
No.
So you won.
It's a big win.
It's a big win.
Yes.
Well, I don't recognize it. It's fine. Because
you will soon.
Okay, the third, it's win for you. It's around January, February 2025.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna call it Feb 2025.
In fact, because already the papers that are submitted today. We're submitting 2 arguments and 2 papers now. Which refers to the win early this year and taking the case that was in constitutional court to a lower court. So the third one is trademark.
You won the trademark?
Yes. In fact, so now the application is such that no one is allowed to use that. That's what I call a big win. Remember, we did not touch it, and we allowed everybody to be using this particular trademark. So we won that.
Well, this sounds like a major victory.
Yes,
something that I didn't expect. Okay, let's take our time.
Yeah, that's why I said this one is gonna shock you.
Yes,
but
okay.
So yeah,
let's take our time through this one. So the third victory that happened behind closed doors, is the logo and trademark.
Yes.
Okay, so this you won in February. Yes. Who are the proprietors of this one?
Well, it's your legal institution.
No,
which is
who is given the trademark of this thing?
It's us.
Yeah. Define us, because for the audience they think
it's Jabulani Khumalo.
It's Jabulani Khumalo. He's registered to use.
Yes.
Under what? Under MK Jabulani Khumalo, because we need to use words that will be easy for them.
No, for sure. That's a MK party.
Okay, the MK party of Jabulani Khumalo has the trademark.
Yes.
And this MK party of
that's the only logo, by the way, in the trademark that you see everywhere.
Yes.
So now we are the only entity that has a right to use that particular trademark and nobody else.
This is big.
Yeah.
And you achieved this around February, March 2025.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you seek to do with this? Do you tell them to cease to use it?
The court papers that we have filed now, as I said, that we're doing two concurrent processes. One is such that they desist from using that trademark and logo.
Have you communicated it yet?
No, it's the paper that we
this is what you have thought. No, this is big.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then the second one is that now we're told that we can't have a direct access at the Constitutional Court. So we must go to a lower court. So that this is the same case that we are taking to Concord. Now we are taking it to the lower court.
What is the name of this lower court?
SCA in Bloemfontein. I don't know why I had my chain of thought.
Yes, it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you are going back to the SCA.
Yes, we are going back to the SCA.
Okay. The Supreme Court of Appeal.
Yes.
So at the Supreme Court of Appeal, they've heard you.
Yes.
But at Kishabu
and
you could not profess.
We couldn't.
You could not prove
at the time.
Yes.
Yes. Obviously, remember the institution that should produce that is a third party. So we needed to go and do that process thoroughly.
Now you have it. So are you saying now you are game ready for the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein?
We are game ready this time. In fact, we thought the relief that we're seeking, we're going to get it in the Constitutional Court. However, hence I'm saying we did not lose the case, but we went into the wrong door. So now we are taking the exact same case into the right door. So, and one thing that we need to be careful of is that a lot of people on the ground, usually they get misled.
That's why I want you to be, as less complicated as possible.
Yes. So the fact that we go to court and then there will be these legal jargons and whatever not, if we're completely lost, we're not going to keep going back to court. Unfortunately, these were technicalities. And I mean, that is why you'd find that maybe on layman terms, that somebody that did not kill anyone, but that person is successfully prosecuted and is sent to jail. Is it because the system is corrupt or whatever? In most cases, it's because how he was represented, certain technicalities failed him, but not because that person killed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You refuse to count my punches in favor of MK. So MK took, accordingly, I'm going with the narrative.
Yeah.
MK took hold of your CIPC.
Yeah.
I don't want to say rights or credentials. Yeah. They went into CIPC, removed you guys. Yeah. And installed themselves, and you took them to court. Yeah. When you get to court, court says, guys, Bali feel the stuff that you want. What do you want here? And you know what it looked in the public here? You agree? Yeah. No. You agree? This is what I told Jabulani Khumalo to say. Yes. But no matter what happens, you guys came back as have not lost anything. But it looked less because the judgment was punitive, because it even happened. It came with cost, right?
Yes.
So
it is.
So MK whipped you because someone must have told you, hey, those people retracted those things, so let's stand down. But it didn't happen, and it looks as if MK whipped you. That's why I keep now I record the punches. When you come back from court with your tail behind your legs, I write down. What happened there? I want you to explain it to the audience.
Let me unpack it. So, in fact, late last year, what actually happened was that some of the directors at CIPC were removed. And then what President Jabulani Khumalo did, he then opened the case, and then subsequent to that, seeing that nothing was happening, he then approached the court. Such that those people are reinstated. But unfortunately, that thing was not coming, to fruition. And then later, that's when now we approached Pretoria High Court. Then in Pretoria High Court, ever before we went to court, remember we engage with legal experts, you know, and we are not legal experts. All we need is what is for those particular directors to be reinstated. So we only learned when we got to court, because the judge then said that, okay, these are your prayers, and your prayers clearly stipulates that you are seeking to be reinstated. But according to the records, as I check now, you were reinstated last week. So what are we doing here? And then obviously,
Waste now.
no, you're not wasting time. So we are also surprised, because we were preparing these papers and this case together with the legal experts.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we do not have those legal credentials and whatever not. So when the judge responded in that, you know, and then we looked each other in the eye to say, okay, then really, why are we here? Because the relief that we are seeking is granted in Frankly. But unfortunately, but here's a twist, Mashiane. My problem is that obviously that is not part of the prayers of the court. The fact that I still maybe one of your mics, Mashiane, and I leave with your mic here, and then you go open a case against me that stole my mic, and then before we go to court, you return the mic. Does that absolve me of wrongdoing?
No, at all.
So
Not at
that's where my problem is with the courts, because you can't overlook wrongdoing and say no, because not you understand. So that's where my problem is, and people don't understand that. The fact that, and I'm saying, look, the legal practitioner was supposed to advise better, but however, wrongdoing is wrongdoing.
Yes. So the part that I'm coming to is the money.
Yeah.
And the lawyers. But I want to pause it and concentrate here. Are you going? Because when I spoke to Jabulani Khumalo the last time we spoke on the podcast, that was immediately after that.
Yeah.
And I said, your case seems to have fingerprints everywhere.
Okay.
It has, I mean, as long as, and the crime, your crime happens digitally. It creates digital footprints.
Yes.
When I was with Gorbachev, they were removed from the website. Their credentials was changed.
Yeah.
So the IEC, but the people who are working at the back end of that database, they can check whose credentials was used when, what computer, on what date, where was that computer located. That thing could be sourced because it's an illegal exit.
But sometimes courts, they refuse to.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is why I want to come. And so with Jabulani Khumalo, I was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So you went to court because someone stole something.
Yes.
But here's proof that it was stolen.
Yes.
So do you've got the money and legal expertise to go and do it, because it's lawyers and money. The whole thing, the reason you keep losing one knot is because you are not getting either of the two things. I'm going to give me time.
Okay.
Lawyers who've got your interest or lawyers who are fit for purpose.
Yeah.
Let me repeat. Lawyers who've got your best interest who say, no, man, Jabulani Khumalo, we just check before we go.
Yeah.
We've got time to suspend this thing to say, Arasata, we've been granted what we wanted.
Yeah.
You understand? Someone, so it will be someone who cares for you.
Yeah.
It's like a mechanic who tells you, or no, you actually don't need a new battery.
Yes.
Just start the car. It's fine. But the mechanic then just charts your mind. So this is the lawyer who has your best interest at that. Number two, a lawyer who is fit for purpose. When you go to that, we spoke about doors. When you go to this door, is a lawyer expectedly equipped for that door that you are going to?
Yeah.
So, okasche lawyer wa bereka ka maintenance courts, wa misha on complex matters that have to do with such stuff.
No, for sure.
You understand? And I'm not disrespecting lawyers. I'm just saying, you've got the money to hire the people who are expert in all of these things, or because you're so poor, any lawyer wamujia le Mashiane who has read wamujia now, because I want you to unpack this, because I'm gonna throw it back to you. So listen to how you unpack it. At the end, tell us Who's paying for all of this? It's up to you.
Firstly, going back to the first question about the lawyer and whatever the case may be, it has always been technicalities. As to the lawyer has been right or wrong, well, I think at the time, whenever we approach these legal experts, it will be through references, and recommendable references. Unfortunately, there will be those technicalities that throws us off ultimately, and every now and then we keep changing and whatever the case may be. But from my standpoint, these are people who, with credible track record, to have worked successfully and presented arguments in those courts, whether it's the SCA or whether it's the High Court, and Constitutional Court, because we don't just, as you said, that we can't just take anybody from maintenance court and whatever the case may be. But as to being fit for work, I think I can't be.
Okay, be sure.
I can't say they're not, because there is a credible track record, with cases that they've won successfully. It's just that with law, one thing I've learned is that even when you're the best in the game, sometimes you get a knock, primarily because you might have overlooked one technicality or the other. Because the court of law, I've learned that it doesn't really rely on the merits of the case, but there are certain ways, how to approach the court and whatever the case may be. Because one of the things that we somehow try to argue is the very thing that, okay, these people can't be absolved or say of wrongdoing because they did this illegally. And then the response to the judge was that, no, but it's not part of the prayers. So that's a technicality, right?
Hence, you've got the money to pursue a parallel
yes
program where others are pursuing the wrongdoers.
Yeah.
Others are doing this one. You've got the money. And who funds all of this?
Okay. No, we'll get to that. But we are not in a hurry to pursue the wrongdoers because it's big. It's something that is going to shock everybody. But we have decided that we'll then do that when we get to the other side, because ultimately, whether you like it or not, eventually MK Party is going to be reinstated to the actual original founder, which is Jabulani Khumalo. So wrongdoers, you see, we haven't even started to scrape the surface. It's a lot. People are going to go to jail. I'm sorry. People are going to go to jail. It's just going to be a huge mess, and that is why it looks like these are jabs. It's not jabs. It's people trying to run away from jail, and jail is slowly approaching them.
Okay, yeah. You spoke about jails. Before I get to this one, let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys are too hot to be helped? Too hot in this instance is, Gazebar Kuleya fish, no one wants to touch it.
Yeah.
You guys are sitting on something so dangerous that no one wants to help you. Because I think lawyers who can do what you guys want are there, but everyone is just running away. It's like the Senzo Meiwa case. I mean, there are a lot of lawyers who can help there, but by born right, they can something. She say we don't want it because they know who they are actually fighting. And is it a case of you guys are fighting a big monster? Even if you've got a good case, no one wants to be facing that monster. So, no one wants to work with you. Are you guys safe?
We are very safe. But in saying that we are fighting a big monster, it's true.
Of course.
What we are fighting is not Duduzile, it's not Jacob Zuma. Unfortunately, people don't know that where there's a stooge, there is a
handler.
So these handlers, they're all over the world who have released monies, to I don't want to say to MK because MKP, the founder is Jabulani Khumalo, to that family stock fell, to turn either right or left or whichever direction. And I can tell you right now for free, because previously, before the elections, you'll find that there would be some sort of an ideology, that will be used to gain voters and whatever, that this is what MK is going to do and whatever. But all of that, it has dissipated. The only thing that you will hear from that other side of MK is Amasela, this and that, but no vision, none whatsoever. It's because whoever who pays the piper dictates the true. So that's what is currently happening. So the oligarchs, they are controlling the so-called stooges. So it's a bigger elephant. So it's a way bigger elephant which is outside of the borders.
Hence,
Israel is involved.
Yes.
Morocco is involved. United States is involved. It's a lot.
Yeah. So, and this is exactly why I say, I think jurists say look at this and say, well, you guys have got a case, but they don't want to be involved because you guys are cooking a nest that is so big.
Yeah.
The hornets are as big as helicopters.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
You spoke about ideology.
Yeah.
I wasn't debating. I was listening to Jabulani Khumalo's ideology of what he wants to do, because he doesn't like this shape that MK is taken. And I contested with him to say his ideas are more humanitarian. They're not realistic in politics.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dwell into like the nitty-gritties, but the way he was to reconfigure government with the kings, everyone reporting to the kings in South Africa, I felt it's not going to be realistic. But then you spoke about the ideology before they went to the elections, because they were pressured. Remember when that pressure of manifesto must come, they went to Orlando Stadium. Was it Orlando Stadium? Yes, where they had to issue a people's document just before the elections. And I read that document. I read it here in the podcast. Yeah. None of those things that I've spoken in the podcast that have been pushed. Bonkosi Kanyile was asked about the stance of MK on foreigners and mabahambe and open borders. Bonkosi Kanyile said no comment.
You know why?
No.
It's because the oligarchs must always tell them what to say and not what to say. So you can't. So it's no longer. You remember, as you say, that Bonkosi Kanyile, the freedom of speech and what I believe he's been into trouble more than once because of talking things that he wasn't supposed to say. But right now he can't, because this thing is no longer, I can tell you now, it's no longer controlled by Jacob Zuma. It's controlled elsewhere. And I'll tell you, for the reasons, remember when the oligarchs, they come in, they come for a greater purpose to destabilize the political fraternity in the country. Obviously, MK being a relevant role player, with significant numbers above EFF and so on and so forth. I mean, a logical a logical example. MK in KZN is a majority. Why are they not in government? Because the oligarchs tell them what to do and what not to do. A logical sense, because it's government of provincial unity. The majority must now invite those. The same thing when they were negotiating for the GNU, ANC was the one inviting the rest because they had more numbers. So now MK was supposed to be the one doing the same. Why are they not in government? Oligarchs and plutocrats.
We're standing at a place where, we don't know what's going to happen if you guys win this thing. I'm being honest with you. If we win this thing, we don't know what's going to happen. The reason we don't know what's going to happen is all of these things that should happen if you guys win this thing are above my comprehension. Can you imagine they say MK must be deregistered? It means that you guys will take the MK as it exists, meaning you are taking all of those seats.
Yeah.
You can call, but you calling a conference is not going to happen, because you are going to ride on the MK constitution that says you rule by decree. So let me give an example why it's going to be very difficult for us to fulfill.
Yeah.
Jabulani Khumalo becomes Jacob Zuma on that on the Floyd constitution. Those who may not know, please follow our podcast. We call all those constitutions by name. There are few constitutions, and the Floyd constitution is the one that Zuma is riding on. And we contest its legality, by the way. So in the Floyd constitution, that's where Jabulani Khumalo will sit on, and he will say, Brian Molefe, Tuduzile, Mama, come back from parliament, because he rules by decree. He calls them back and say, take it, parliament. Mashiane, parliament. Parliament. Yeah, but I'm not MK. I'm Maibwe. Hey, parliament.
Yeah.
He rules by decree.
No, for sure.
Malema, we are giving you 5 seats.
Yeah.
Give us 2 of your MPs who are outside.
Yeah.
We just want to beef up this thing. Go to parliament. You see, it's unthinkable, but he's got the powers to do it.
Okay.
Of course, we are politically incorrect, and we want to do these politics that are incorrect.
Yeah.
Do you understand why it's going to be very difficult for us to understand? And this is why we're saying you are facing a monster, because the thing that should happen if you win these things, it's beyond our mind.
It's unthinkable.
It's unthinkable because you can't even go to Congress.
Yeah.
If you use, by the way, and so to interject, if you use the original, I'm going to call it the Jabulani Khumalo constitution, the constitution that you registered with IEC.
Yes.
That constitution, because IEC has been ignoring it. But when you win, IEC can say, okay, now use this.
Yeah.
But they are being ignored. They are silent. Now use it. It means you need to go to national conference.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And if you go to national conference, Zuma will win. Do you understand that Zuma will win?
I'm with you.
So this is why I'm telling you, and you and I have spoken about this in the previous podcast, and we've said it with Jabulani Khumalo, that people of MK know your narrative.
Yeah.
They just keep telling you.
Yeah.
Okay,
maybe let me start by providing this clarity.
Please do.
According to the constitution, the party leader, the constitution clearly stipulates that the party leader holds a supreme rule. However, in legislatures, there are legislative rules on how you put your people in parliament. First of all, one of the prayers is such that because all of this was done wrongly, then the first point of contact is that all those that were in gazetted list, they be reinstated. That is the first step. That is law. That is not MK at Jabulani Khumalo. So everybody who went there, who were never on a gazetted list originally, they need to vacate. That's the first step.
So, but hold the first step, unless you and I engage on this. On the first step, there's a Gorbachev list that he wanted, and Duduzile intercepted it. And then there's a overnight list after Gorbachev left that was then cooked with those emergency laptops. You remember that Friday night laptop that was
Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night
to Friday morning.
Yes, that you were burning the midnight oil on. You see, there are a lot of lists, and everybody would say, here's an email that I sent on this day that has this document that show I was. So it's going to be a contest within a contest of a contest. So this is why I'm telling you that.
Not really.
Okay, explain it to me.
Remember, whatever that is accepted, it is whatever that was submitted to the IEC. So as to who sent an email and whatever, with
It would not matter.
It doesn't matter because it is the IEC that then now gazettes these names. And then if there are any objections, and then there's a message is sent into the party to say that there's a complaint about this particular name and so on and so forth. And even on top of that, after that cutoff date, the IEC, I think there's a window period of about 21 days or 20, something like that, to say, if you wish to change the list, this is your final window period. You can do that. Hence, any other thing that happened before that, it will not suffice. It will not find expression.
I understand, and thank you for the clarity.
Yeah.
The list that was for public consumption,
Yeah.
it was Zuma number 1, Jabulani number 2.
Yes.
And that was toppled by Jabulani number 1.
Yes.
Yes, Jabulani number 1 was the second number 2.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3. And then when Zuma was off the way,
He became
number 1, second, number 2,
number
so on
2.
and so forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I want you to understand, when Parliament opened, remember there was a period where you guys, okay, MK did not want to go to Parliament as yet, while other people were sworn in.
Yes.
But that number 1 list of Jabulani Khumalo was still valid.
Yes.
And it had passed 21 days.
Yes.
Is that what you are saying? Was that very same list?
That's the exact same list that must go back. And maybe to provide clarity.
Sure.
Even how Parliament did
The swearing in.
not necessarily the swearing in, by accepting those expansion letters, it was unlawful and illegal. Hence, it was challenged. So this is what how things were supposed to be. Remember, there were those people that were expelled the 18th after they were sworn in. Parliament. Yes. Parliament can sign that off because now they are the subjects of Parliament. They're sworn in Parliament. However, the first 7 that was expelled, it was illegal. And the Secretary of Parliament, what's his name? Polilo George, had no right, to remove those people from the list. Remember that 7, these are people that represent a constituency. They are in a gazetted list, and a gazetted list is supported. Those seats are supported and backed up by a constituency. So it did not have a right at the time, unless and until when they are sworn in and then they are now a subject of Parliament, then you could then by referred to by their political party, remove them from Parliament. So that even that particular process was done wrongly. But unfortunately, we don't want to be paid attend to all these things haphazardly. We are focusing on reinstating the actual leader of MK, and then the crux of the matter and all these other things, we'll deal with them later. Including pushing people to jail, by the way.
You insist on pushing people to jail. Who are, okay, there's a list of people going to Parliament. Who's the list of people going to jail?
Well, I wouldn't want to say names.
Because the reason I'm asking you is July 2021.
Yeah.
We saw what's the danger of incarcerating Jacob Zuma.
Yeah.
Julius Malema has been found guilty. People say he will not win the appeal.
Yeah.
And people say, even if he wins the appeal, I'm not legal, and I did not follow a lot of legalese surrounding that, to say fighters are not going to allow Julius Malema to go to jail without causing a ruckus in the country. I don't know how long will he face.
Yeah.
South Africa is tired of following laws.
Yeah.
If Julius Malema goes to jail, people will revolt because they feel that is clumsy.
Yeah.
Well, let me say, use the word flimsy, not clumsy. They think this is flimsy things to incarcerate a leader of their own. The same way people felt Sholozi, because they insist he was incarcerated without a judge, without trial, without hanging. Do you think if the state is afraid of jailing Jacob Zuma, you guys would want to force the state to do it again?
Well, I did not mention any name.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I'm also saying when somebody does any fraudulent activity, when somebody, in this case, you forge somebody's signature, you know, near a layman's understanding. You forge a signature in the olden days of a check. You pretend to be the account holders. That's fraud. And you must be prosecuted and sent to jail. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it on the basis of that there has been a criminality. And on top of that, remember when Floyd did that press briefing, he did say that there is this 7 million rands that leaves the party account and goes elsewhere to do some other things that have absolutely nothing to do with the party. Obviously, after taking over, there must be audits that must be done to those accounts, because obviously we are also accountable to the IEC. And then last but not least, as you say that deregistration and whatever not, these clumsy performance and whatever, since they know that ultimately these people, Jabulani will be reinstated, one thing that they will push for is deregistration. And obviously, if you don't submit your financials in time and according to legislative rule of the IEC, ultimately you'll be deregistered. So that's what they want to push for, because obviously if the party is deregistered, then they won't face the music. So that's what they want to push for.
Thank you. Now, where to from here? Is it today or is it yesterday where you filed those 2 papers?
Today
you filed 2 papers. I want you to explain again. The first paper is to say stop using any trademark related to Umkhonto weSizwe. Amongst others, don't touch the logo.
Yes,
that's what you are saying. Fine, that's number 1. You submitted today.
Yeah.
And you are going to tell them in your court, or you have sent letters to the Secretary General?
The court.
We are going to tell them in court.
So this
when you have a date,
to court.
When you have a date, you don't have a date yet.
Yes.
Step number 2. The other one is
Jabulani Khumalo being reinstated as a party leader. So those are the same. In fact, those are the same arguments that went to constitution.
It's 1 paper.
It's 2
papers, but they're all going to the SCA in Bloemfontein.
No. The other one, obviously, SCA, which when we are appealing, so yes. We're not appealing anything. It's they're going to the High Court.
Okay.
Yes, they're going to.
So we were wrong when we said the Constitutional Court sent you back to the SCA.
No, we are right. Remember, these are 2 parallel processes.
That's why I want us to declare.
One is for the logo. The logo is not going to the SCA, but it's going to the High Court. And then the arguments about Jabulani being reinstated as the party leader is going to SCA.
Because this one has legs already, it's been running. They're just channeling it. Okay, so plus minus, when are we going to have this? They will give you data next year.
Well, we can't be too sure.
This is October 2025.
But the recess is only in, I think, the first week of December. So it works differently. The Concord, their recess is October, and then they will come back November, and then they close again in December. But SCA and the High Courts only in, I think, first week of December. So we're only in the beginning of October.
So no secretaries are working on your documents, so when they come, they can give you a date. So you will have to wait for December to know where you are.
Not really. We can know anytime.
Of a court date?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Remember the process. We submitted, and then they have to respond, and then ultimately we are given a date.
Mashiane Politicallyincorrect, that's not Team Lambo. Speaking on behalf of the MK of Jabulani Khumalo. I'm trying to be very careful with what I'm saying. The MK of Jabulani Khumalo, fighting for the soul and heart of the original MK part.
Yeah.
Very confusing. But please type it, explain to us. Do you think the battle is lost? Do you think they must stop doing what they are doing? And now for now, I honestly don't see them winning. Not because they don't have a good case, but legal people don't want to touch them. He did not even answer who gives them money, because I don't think people are giving them enough money And if those people, those little money that are given, no one wants to be seen giving them money. Let me leave it at that. Thank you very much, Etada.
Thank you.
Ke a leboga, Truth. Ola.